Lesson 23 is the start of Newton's 3 laws of motion. Before you go through this lesson, you should really go onto YouTube and just Google Newton's 3 laws and watch a video or two, just giving you a brief overview of what the 3 laws are, because they're all really important. And here's number one. Number one is inertia. Inertia. Everybody continues in a state of rest or uniform velocity in a straight line unless an external force acts upon it. So we've kind of discussed this already in the previous lessons. The law of inertia simply means that everything in the universe wants to keep doing what it's doing. In other words, if it's moving at a uniform velocity, it wants to keep doing that. If it's at rest, it wants to keep doing that. The only thing that objects naturally do not want to do is to accelerate. And so objects can only accelerate if an overall net force of something other than 0 is acting upon that object. Okay, so you can read over the notes. The notes explain it very well. Down at the bottom of your notes here, you've got this important statement that the net force is 0, then the delta V is 0. And of course, if delta V is 0, then that means the acceleration must be 0. So if there's no net force, something could be moving at a constant velocity, and then the net force would still be 0. Something moving a uniform motion has a net force of 0. And remember, we're always looking at this from the point that there's no friction. Then you've got some examples, and there are some really good videos that we would all watch. You can read over the examples, describe the motion of a hockey puck shot down the ice. Obviously, it wants to keep moving in a straight line. The only thing that slows it down is friction. Describe the motion of a book sitting on the table while the book wants to stay still. Why? Because of Newton's first law, the law of inertia. Explain, number 3, use Newton's first law to explain why people are injured in car accidents when they do not wear their seatbelts. Very simply, because you are moving with your car in a specific direction. If you have a head-on collision, your car stops very suddenly, but you, because of inertia, want to keep moving. So then you keep moving, your car stops suddenly because you hit something, a lamppost or something, you keep moving, and therefore you're going to get whiplash, or if you're not wearing seatbelts, you may hit the windshield and go through it if you're going really fast. So that's why it's really important to wear your seatbelt and to drive safely. And that's it. That's the end of Newton's first law. We'll go on to Newton's second law in the next lesson, which is a much longer lesson.